And you do a lot of racial humor in general.
I do. I've been known for that.
Yeah. And I'll be honest. Like the first time I met you, you kind of threw me off a little bit.
Right.
Because Lord Jamar was DJing.
This was at Santos. No, at
I forgot what club it was. Might have been Santos.
No. It was the one in the meatpacking district.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Toca Tuesdays.
Yeah. Tony Touch was in the booth with us. It was me, you,
and
Jamar.
I would have been drunk as fuck at that night.
You were pretty drunk.
Yeah.
Right. And then it was like, Jamar introduced us. You're like, oh shit, DJ Vlad, rap phenomenon.
Yeah.
And then we started talking.
Yeah.
And then you said, the blacks love you.
Yeah.
But then you remember what you said next?
No.
He said, don't call them Abiziana.
Yeah. That's probably what I said.
Right. Which literally means don't call them monkeys.
Yes.
And I was like, oh. And I just didn't know how to take that.
Because you didn't really know where my brain was.
I didn't really know. And I kind of felt some type of way.
Did you?
About it. I did.
Really?
I did. And it wasn't until a bunch of my friends like Lord Jamar, Faison Love, Michael Jai White were like, I told them that story. They're like, no, man, he's not. He was just cracking a joke. He's not. Yeah. This is not a racist guy.
Yeah, you know what it was? It was. I was like, well, here's a word I know. It was like, well, let's do. And drunk Russ was like, hey, just whatever. And then I've had a lot of people come to me and go, do you know what you said to so and so? I go, no, what? They go, I go, it was really fucked up. I go, next time I see them, I go, hey man, sorry about that. I didn't know you were going to take it the wrong way. It happens more often than not. Let me just say that.
Yeah. It threw me off, and I kind of was like, I don't know about this guy. And then, but like I said, my friends were like, nah, like this is a cool dude. Like,
yeah. Now,
like we've known him like way longer than you, and like Michael Jai White knew you from like way back in the day, the Toronto days. Like,
it's funny, Michael Jai White. So I meet Michael Jai White in
Michael Jai White.
Michael Jai. I was calling fucking the wrong name. He gets so mad at me every time. Michael Jai White. I meet him at the Comedy Store one time in 2010. And he goes, oh, man, let me take a picture with him. I'm a big fan. And I'm like, what? And he goes, yeah, big fan. I go, Mike, we've met before. We did? Where? I go, we didn't just meet. We hung out for 2 fucking days. What? When? I go in Toronto when you were promoting the Tyson movie. What? You were there? I only remember hanging around Drew and some other guy. I go, yeah, I was the other guy.
Yeah?
Yeah. So I jogged his memory. I was like, shit, I'm embarrassed about that. I go, yeah, it's fine.
I mean, because you do a lot of racial humor.
I do.
But you've actually had racism towards you. Like,
you've
actually had people call you the N-word and stuff like that.
Oh, I've dealt with a lot of racism, especially in the 70s and early 80s. It was bad. Especially and a lot of people don't realize this, that in Canada in that time, they were getting they were taking their racist cues from Britain. And there was a lot of Indian immigrants in England.
A lot.
And they were dealing with a lot of racism there. And then that bled over to Canada, and we were getting it. And I was just a little kid, but I was getting it bad. And it was like bad. Like it was more than just being called names. It was being spit at and kicked or punched for no reason. And I'm not talking like in my teenage years. I'm talking like in my 4, 5, 6, 7 years old. This is happening. And not just by kids my age, older people, adults, spraying you with hoses and shit. You're like, and that affects you. That fucks your head up. And then the way I found, so I never hung around the white kids because I didn't trust them. I didn't know what was going to happen next. So I hung around the black kids from about the age of 4. So all my friends were West Indian. They were either Trinidadian or Jamaican or Guyanese or Bajan or whatever. And so that was always my headspace. So from about the age of 4, for about 46 years, I've been, so mentally, I get told this a lot sometimes, you're not black, right? I'm like, I know I'm not black, but my brain processes that. It processes, like when something happens in the black community, my brain immediately reacts to it because it's like, that's us, that's you, I'm like, oh, it directly not anymore, but my brain feels that. I feel that more than I feel other things.
Yeah.
Because my memories are all that. All my good memories are that.
I mean, do you feel like in comedy you can go over the edge in terms of racial humor?
I don't know if you can go over the edge. I mean, my goal is to make you laugh.
Yeah.
And my goal is to, if I'm talking about a culture or a race, my goal is to say things that only that culture and race will understand. While the other people are still laughing at it, it hits the person I'm talking to or about. Like when I did the Russian joke, it hit you because you're Russian and you knew that I actually threw some actual Russian words in there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the goal. And when I make, when I do my Chinese impression, the Chinese people go, hey, we love your Hong Kong accent. And I'm like, they know the accent, like they can pinpoint it.
Mm-hmm.
They know exactly which one I'm doing. And then I throw in some words in Cantonese, and you want to make people know that, yeah, I'm making a joke, but I've taken the time to know about you so that I'm not doing just this blind fucking blah, you do this, blah, isn't that funny? And I'm like, no, I understand things about you.
Well, the Indian community has sometimes kind of pushed back.
Sometimes.
Yeah, like I remember there was one review where it said, Russell Peters' set was full of displays of quote unquote Indian humor that would make his contemporary brown comedians sink in shame, because honestly, at this point, Peters gives brown funny folk a bad name.
Wow. When was that?
That's in my notes.
Well, how long ago was that?
I think this was January 2020.
Wow. Well, that guy's fucking problem.
Let me see. There's a link here. It's
You see, here's the thing with that.
From meow.com.
Oh, wow. Claws out, kids.
Deported, another tired old Russell Peters comedy special with defunct racial stereotypes and homophobia.
Wow. See, that's the thing nowadays. Anybody can put a review out.
Yep.
And they can take anything you say and make it seem the other way. That's why I was hesitant to talk about Peter, because I'm like, somebody's just going to hear me say that word and they're like, oh, see, he said it and he says it. And I'm like, no, I'm just explaining it. But again, you got these people, they're like, you can't say they're tired racial stereotypes. I did it in fucking India. You know what I mean? You can't say I'm talking about Indian people the wrong way when I'm doing it in India in front of Indian people.
Like when you go to India and you do your Indian jokes, what happens?
They connect.
Yeah.
They know, like, listen, it doesn't matter how you feel if you're an Indian person outside of India and you don't have that connection. Like you go out of your way to connect. Just be you. Understand this is your life and this is what you know. It's your reality, right? But that don't negate what somebody else's reality is. I had some guy put something about DM me about, hey, bruh, maybe your generation talk like that, but our generation doesn't talk like that. So maybe you should stop doing the accent. And I'm like, first of all, don't call me fucking bruh, dick. You little fucking kid, right? You know what I mean? So, and if you would say it to my face, that I'd respect you, but you don't. And because there's a solid chance you leave with no teeth, you know what I mean? But the thing is, like, that's how my dad spoke and my friend's parents spoke. So you can't get mad at me and it's not like I'm just up there doing that for no reason. I'm doing characters when I'm doing it. Is it going to be funny if it's like, hey, so my dad said to me, go to work? No. But if my dad said, son, go to work, like that's how I would have heard it. My dad would never be like, yeah, so what's up? You know, it's unrealistic.
Yeah.
So when people are like tired, first of all, I'm the guy that started that. So yeah, if somebody else does it, it's fucking tired. But if I do it, that's what I do. You know.